Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Frontline. How you doing, brother? You see, sometimes I got like two switches. I got one in the top, one in the bottom. I'll be pay attention to one. The other one got me. Anyway, what's up, fight fans? And we're back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and we have an amazing show for you today. We're going to be talking about the Ryan Garcia thing, and I'm going to give you a full breakdown as quick as possible. Maybe I might make a short video. Who knows where we go with this one? Thank you very much, brother. Letting me know that you can hear me loud and clear. Now, let's get right to it. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions, and definitively, I'm just going to break down the entire facts. The way I'm going to break it down, right, is this is what it truly is, right? And hopefully by the end of this video, you're probably gonna agree, because I'm just gonna not beat around the bush. Let's get right to it. Check this out. First of all, let's take this back 3 days ago. 3 days ago. 3 days ago, Devin Haney was winning in this entire situation. He was just alerted from the New York Boxing Athletic Committee that they had overturned his loss into a no contest. And he was still the WBC world champion of the world. So he had his belt, he had his O back, right? And Ryan Garcia was given a year suspension and a hefty fine. And the boxing world thought we were just going to go about our business and everything was going to go back to your regularly scheduled program. At that point right there, Devin Haney was winning. He got what he wanted, right? But behind the scenes, the WBC had publicly come out and said, okay, we know that Ryan Garcia got a year and got some fines, and we feel he needs help. We feel like we shouldn't get all over him as well. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to him and offer him help. Now, this infuriated Devin Haney and his team. This is where everything went to shit. And this is why. You guys have to read what's going on. And what's going on is someone somewhere fucked up high up. And they knew that by going into this whole Ryan Garcia testing positive, that they were going to open a lot of cans of worms. Let's take it back to where you guys got your information. It was first leaked by this phony ass VADA letter that Ryan Garcia first tested positive on the 19th, April 19th. And then he tested positive again on the 20th. Then later on, more leaks supposedly started coming out. He didn't test positive once, twice, 3 times, a remarkable 6 times. And each time you were giving your information, it was either from some reporter, Ryan Garcia's team, or Devin Haney's team. But what everybody was failing to pay attention to, that the New York Boxing Athletic Committee themselves didn't really say much. They touched on a few things, right? But the entire time, what the public wanted to know, did he cheat? And did the P's that he took, the Austrian, play in a factor? And I came on and I told you guys, it's very peculiar that he popped dirty for that type of PE. Why? There were just so many other available options. They got 24-hour PEs that will be in and out of your system within 24 hours, and you'll get benefit from it. And I kept thinking to myself, why the Austrian? Why would he take that? Right? Okay. So everything kept playing out. When I saw the New York Athletic Boxing Commissioner resign, right there, red flags started going off in my head. Who leaves a job like that, just like this, on leading up to one of the biggest scandals your branch has? Why would you just walk away from your job? And at that moment, I said to myself, there's something bigger going on here than Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Somewhere, somehow, somebody signed off on something and wasn't aware, and then they caught the cheating. But in order to expose the cheating, you got to tell on yourself. And heads were going to roll. Some heads in those big offices and the New York Boxing Athletic Committee, because of the fact that somebody said, yes, Vada was a credible source, they must have investigated the source. I'm trying to tell you, someone knows the truth, but somebody didn't want the truth to come out. So mysteriously, they found a loophole to find Ryan Garcia guilty on his own accord. Ryan Garcia was on social media with those 2 bottles and said, this is what I took. He fucked up right there. This is what I took. And in the rules, when you have a boxing match schedule, you have to submit a list of all the supplements you're taking. No ifs, ands, buts. Now, throughout the course of the history, almost 99% of all boxers never submit everything they're taking. 99% of all boxers do not exactly give out everything they will be taking. And they know this. They have never in the history of boxing ever suspended anyone for not disclosing everything they took, because everything they took might have not have been a PE. It could have been creatine. It could have been a weight gainer. That's not illegal, right? So they've never pushed the rule until now. They used what Ryan Garcia said. They said, what did you say you took? And he said this. And they said, give me the bottles. Gotcha. Now we could find him guilty, but we're not going to be able to find him guilty for the PE use. Because if we find them for the PE use, and shall Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney choose to take this to court and they say, no, we're not agreeing with it, we have to submit our finding and how we came to the conclusion of giving Ryan Garcia the suspension. They got to prove it. The doping agency, all the steps, or everybody that was in play, everything. Apparently, they didn't want that to come out. Right? And what they did was they granted everybody their wishes. Right? Ryan Garcia was supposed to go down for PE use, but they took that away from him, right? So it kind of clears Ryan, but you're getting a suspension and a hefty fine, which satisfies Devin Haney. And by the way, we're gonna take your and give you your O back. And they thought that was gonna satisfy everyone, and it should have, not Devin Haney. So when the WBC ordered him to go into a purse bid, Devin Haney said, I'm suspended. The WBC was trying to tell him, yes, we know this. We do this all the time to hundreds of fighters. We've done this to many fighters. Wait, you're not the first fighter we've ever said start negotiation. They try to do it to Sebastian Fundora to start negotiation with Terrence Crawford when he was suspended with fighting after Tim Tszyu. And Terrence Crawford was the one that said means other way, and he played ball. But they could have pushed him to fight. Yes, yeah. And he would have had a vacate. They do that to fighters every day, right? So I guess Devin Haney took it another way. You know what Devin Haney said? Fuck you, Bob Arum, for making a bid and buying my fight. Rather than looking at Bob Arum like, yo, thank you, Bob Arum. You're the only person that bid it on me and believed in me. But no, he said, fuck you because you paid too little. He paid too little because he was the only one bidding. I think that's a pretty good business move. Then the WBC said, you're going to fight the number one mandatory. Devin Haney said, no, I'm not. I'm going to fight who I want. As a matter of fact, I'm going on vacation. I'm not fighting nobody until Ryan Garcia comes back, and I'm going to fight him in the rematch. The WBC looked at him and said, excuse me? You think you dictate what you're going to do with our belt? That's not your belt, Devin Haney. You don't own this belt. This is our belt. And every single fighter that ever thought they were going to get bigger than themselves in the sport of boxing, they bring him back down to size. Not only did they strip him and saying he's a champion in recess, which is a nice way of saying they're stripping you, right? They called the people that are going to fight for his belt, and they announced the winner who's going to fight for the winner. They're letting Devin Haney know the sport of boxing will be just fine without you. It'll continue. And you can sit over there and complain all you want because we gave you everything you wanted. But you had to keep pushing. Devin Haney couldn't read between the lines and realize this had become bigger than him and Ryan Garcia. And by exposing what the truth was, it was going to expose some big people. Because you got to think about this. If Victor Compton had anything to do with this, that's a convicted felon fucking around in your testing facilities and had something to do with this, any good lawyer would have rocked this in court. And at the end, it would have made the New York Boxing Athletic Committee look incompetent. So I think they really knew. I think there was something really big behind here. And somebody might have got caught and confessed. Yeah, you gave me money. I confessed. And now somebody's snitching. This is about to get ugly. And if we allow Ryan Garcia to get suspended, and they want to ask, okay, his lawyers say, okay, tell us why. How did you get to this conclusion? And where did all this come from? All that shit was probably going to come out. It was all going to come out. So by doing this, you know, if Devin Haney sues Ryan now and the case goes in front of the judge is going to read the order. And the order says he got found guilty for not submitting his supplements. What are you talking about PEs? And Devin Haney's going to say, see, I got proof. He was tested for Austrian and all this other stuff. He goes, well, you know what? That's not what this is about here. You would have to hire your own team and redo your investigation. Because according to the New York Boxing Athletic Committee, this is what he's guilty for. So they're not going to be able to look over all the evidence, all the findings. That shit falls to the wayside. These motherfuckers were smart about this. And Devin Haney can't see this. He can't see that he was fucking outnumbered. He was outgunned, and it seems like all the favoritism was kind of on Ryan Garcia's side, but not all of it. Because, brother, you still had your belt, and they made you undefeated again. They should have satisfied you, Devin. But no. Devin Haney wanted to keep pushing. He didn't want to play the game. They didn't want to just come out and tell him, bro, this has become bigger than you. And why don't you just take what we're giving you, son, and shut the fuck up? No, Devin couldn't go away. Devin wanted everything. And he wanted to, I want justice. There wasn't going to be no justice, bro. So now, where does this leave Devin Haney? He's beltless. He has no belt. These guys are fighting for it. They already announced the winner. Devin Haney's probably not going to even be in the ranking in the WBC ranking. He got offered $1.6 million for Bob Arum. When he comes back, what's to say that Ryan Garcia accepts a fight with him to try to rejuvenate his career, Devin Haney's career? If Ryan Garcia opts out of fighting Devin Haney, where does that leave him? See, Devin Haney has been so consumed by this whole thing that his entire career has come to a halt until to see what happens to Ryan Garcia. He has complete control of Devin Haney. That's when you lost control. You do not let another man's actions define you. You don't let whatever he's doing move you. You're supposed to walk to your own beat. Devin Haney's not supposed to put his career on hold for Ryan Garcia. He's supposed to be out doing Devin Haney shit. And if Devin Haney can't see, it seems like Devin Haney wants to fight criticism and the public eye and of opinion rather than doing his fighting in the ring. Devin Haney needs to understand that this did not start as a discussion or public opinion on YouTube or memes. That's not where this shit started. This all started in a boxing ring. There's only one way out. You're gonna have to fight your way out of this one. What Devin Haney needed to really do to flip it on everybody, he needed to tell Bob Arum, I'll take that fight, I'll defend my title, whoop that dude's ass, remain the champion, and you're still undefeated. He's winning. He'll still be the champion, etc., etc., etc. And depending on the ass whooping he put it on Sergio Martin, would have also increased his stock. He would have already been on the way of repairing his image off that Ryan Garcia loss. So that when Ryan Garcia comes back, if he can get 2 wins in, he'll be on a winning streak. And everybody will be talking him up, be saying, nah, it ain't going to be like the first fight. Devin's looking good now. They'll have something you gave them. Performances. And coming into the Ryan fight, you'll be worth more at the negotiation table. If Ryan Garcia gets Devin Haney that rematch, his negotiation status is in the toilet right now. He has no belt. He's not the A side now. And he's coming off of a loss. If he sits around to wait for the Ryan Garcia fight, they're going to even give him less money. But if he gets active and he starts putting in work and he keep putting 2 wins, he's going to be coming on a winning streak. He would still be undefeated. He would have things and he would have the momentum of the fans, hopefully, backing him. He would have something to work with. He's still going to be the B side, but he would have better, and he would be better in shape. Something is going on here, guys. I admit it. They just made a fucking positive test disappear. Is it right? I don't make the rules. Do I agree with it? I only report. I'm not sure what happened now. It's kind of like situations in life. Not sure if you guys all seen, unfortunately, that beating that Rodney King took in Los Angeles or wherever it was on the highway from them officers. Brother, they videotaped that. And when we were watching it, the court said, that's not what you were watching. We're watching it, and they convinced you that that's not what was happening inside of that video while you were watching the video. They all got acquitted. In this world, you can legitimately have a motherfucker on video, and there will be somebody to come out and say, that's not what you're watching. This motherfucker tested for a banned substance, and they came out and said, no, he didn't. and they're going to keep it pushing. And when we talk about these people pushing their own narratives and having their own agendas and doing it, I mean, blatantly right in front of you. That's just like if you're standing there and the dude next to you smacks you in the face and says, I didn't smack you. What you mean you didn't smack me? Bro, you probably can feel the fucking stinging of the smack. He's looking you right in the face. I didn't smack you. What? Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Are you okay? I did not smack you. You're fucked up. You're standing there like, well, maybe he didn't smack me. But then who smacked me? Yo, what do you mean? They got you second guessing what you really saw, what you felt. You know you got smacked by that man. What are you thinking about? We know what we saw. We know what we heard. What did he get found guilty for? It's business, baby. Yo, what's up, Jess? What up, my man? Jesse, smash that like button for me, people. Listen, I gotta admit that at some point this thing started to get out of control, but I never thought that Ryan Garcia was gonna get out of it. The minute they announced that he did pop positive for Ostarine, I said they gotta find him guilty. Right? I really didn't see a way around this. This was pretty slick. Whoever came up with this, and they saw an avenue and they took it. In order for the everybody and all parties to be satisfied and to take this kind of avenue, it had to be somebody very powerful. Somebody, some entity, either the New York Boxing Athletic Committee or even higher, somebody said, we need to get rid of this. We need to put this behind us. There was obviously, if this was a cut case, dry case, where that the athlete tested positive, bro, another guy just tested positive not too long ago. They just gave him a 9-month ban, right? Okay. So they they move along through this. If it was just like that, they followed all the procedures, they crossed all their T's, dotted all their I's, what would be the problem with them going after Ryan and just making him? Do you really think that all these entities want to show Ryan Garcia all this favoritism? You guys are soon forgetting what Ryan just did leading up into this fight. Talk about he's a whistleblower on all these rich people and that they're doing these horrible things to kids. And he was accusing a lot of big, powerful people to doing a lot of stuff. I don't think anybody wants to back up Ryan Garcia. I actually think Ryan Garcia and the events that took place fucking saved his ass. Because they knew in order to hang Ryan Garcia, they would have to like bring, and it's gonna fall. Because by trying to expose how he got dirty, it was gonna end up saying that somebody did something, right? So they needed to separate themselves from this. Yo, as soon as Ryan Garcia opened his mouth, they said, we got you. Did you just admit that you? So the guy asked him again. So these are the two supplements that you took leading into the fight? And he said, yeah. He said, he checked the list. He went, so what are they both called? He said, this one's this and this one's this. He looked at his list. Neither of them were on Ryan Garcia's submitted list. He said, so why don't you hand those over to me right now? And would you look into the camera one more time for me with your good side? Turn to the side, Ryan, and say exactly what you said. You took these two. He said, yes. Gotcha. Here you go. 1 year suspended, 1.5 million. Have a nice day. and they walked away. They got him, but they got him in a way that also kind of, in the long run, it's going to be a matter of opinion whether you feel like he tested positive for a banned substance. Within a year or 2 years, legitimately, Ryan Garcia could beat it on his chest and say, I've never tested for a banned substance in my life. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. That's not what I got found guilty for. I'm not on no cheaters list. Do you see my name next to Saul Canelo Alvarez and the rest of the PE cheaters? No. So watch what you say. You can have an opinion. You can say whatever you want. You can say that Devin Haney won that fight, but did he win the fight? Is Devin Haney undefeated? If Devin Haney is not undefeated, then Ryan Garcia didn't test positive for PEs. Fair is fair. If he doesn't have a loss, then he didn't test positive for PEs. Give him back the loss, test him positive then. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you got to take the good with the bad in this. It can't be just one way. Give everything to Devin Haney. Yeah, you still gonna catch that gun charge, right? But it's this. What is? Would you say right here, frontline Edwin is performance enhancing drug? A performance enhancing drug, right? A PE, performance enhancing drug, right? You can say whatever you want. You can pronounce it the right way. I could pronounce it the wrong way. You can say Ryan Garcia had a performance enhancing drug. But I'm going to tell you, like Ryan Garcia is about to tell you, who told you that? Who told you that Ryan Garcia had a PE, a performance enhancing drug? Who told you that Ryan Garcia tested positive for Ostrine? I'll wait. Go back and figure out where you heard that from. Right? And then after that, just like I asked myself, I said, who told me? The person that told me, Mike Compencher, ESPN reporter. He wrote it on an article and I repeated it. And I said to myself, fuck. That's right. I did get it from Mike Carpenter. Then I said I got it also from other YouTube sources and other people. We just kept going back and forth. And I got caught up in the entire scandal that I failed to think, where the fuck did this all start from? So if you go back and you look at how this all leaked out, it leaked out by that phony ass VADA letter that reporter said that Ryan Garcia tested positive. Then everybody wanted to know what the PE was. Then it came out that it was Ostrine. As soon as they said Ostrine, I had to go look that shit up. It's not like I'm a steroid professional, right? But I was like, wow, I really never heard about that one. So I look it up, and you look up all the effects. I'm sitting back, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, E, what? Out of all the boxers you've ever met in your life, out of all the gyms you've ever seen, have you ever heard any boxers taking that shit? I said, nah. Is there better shit to take than that shit? Hell yeah. Is Ryan Garcia just a regular boxer, like with 3 fights and no one knows who he is? No, he's not. If the regular boxer that only has 3 fights, a relatively unknown, no one knows who he is, if he can get better shit than that Austrian, why would fucking Ryan Garcia do that? That Austrian shit is shit. That's garbage. It's just, it's not on the radar for something you want to use as a boxer at all. So, okay, I'll go along with it. They said he tested positive for it. But then I had to like rethink everything. Then they said he tested for 60 billionth of a gram. Who told us that? Who told us he tested positive for 60 billionths of a gram? Ryan Garcia's dad, his mom, Bill Haney came out and said it. Um, some other reporters said it, but not the New York Boxing Athletic Committee. They never released an official statement. Then a little bit of time went on. Then it started, they were going back and forth, and there was a lot of speculations thrown around. Lo and behold, this is their way out. And that should tell you everything right there. One, Ryan Garcia is not that dude. He's not that dude that people would be wanting to risk their careers over, lose their jobs, stick their neck out on the line. He's not that dude. Why would they help him? They're only helping themselves and trying to keep the integrity of the New York Boxing Athletic Committee. They don't give a fuck about VADA. But whatever happened, whoever knows the truth on what really happened with those test vials, apparently they don't want this to come out. And I'm here to tell you right now, neither Devin Haney nor Ryan Garcia has that kind of power to shut this off. They don't have that kind of power. I'm sorry. Devin Haney is not a gangster. His father's not, and plus it didn't work out in his favor. And Ryan Garcia is a fucking social media diva that has meltdowns in between every fight. He doesn't have the kind of power to dictate which way this goes. That's why I can obviously see that this came from higher up. And whoever shut this off was someone of great power in the boxing world. Because Devin Haney couldn't turn this off, and Ryan Garcia couldn't choose his fate. You have to understand, whoever diffused this was very powerful in the boxing world. And this motherfucker can't see that. Devin Haney. He didn't want to play ball. And it just so happens that Ryan Garcia dodged the bullet. Perhaps he did, perhaps he didn't. Perhaps he was never dirty and somebody tainted and they bagged it. And because the New York Athletic Committee deemed it so, then they found out that one of their guys was in on it, some shit like that. And they said, if we expose all that, it would expose us. It would destroy our name. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. Fucking Ryan, he's going to have to get out of it. Fuck it, give Devin Haney his O back. Let's see if we can please them all. And Devin Haney announces that he's going to start suing people, that he wants all the evidence presented in court. They said, no, we got to stop that shit. Oh, what evidence? He didn't get found guilty for peas. He got found guilty for not reporting his substance. Case dismissed. Oh, where's the evidence? We don't have anything. That we didn't find him guilty on that. Have a nice day. Yo, like, it was somebody big that did this, bro. That turned this shit off. The powers that be did that. That's what you got to understand. And Devin Haney couldn't see that. He backed himself into a corner and he put himself in a bad situation. That is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not you believe he was dirty, whether or not, we're never going to know now, are we? Because somebody cleaned this up. Somebody got a phone call and said, yo, clean this shit up. It had nothing to do with Ryan Garcia or Bill Haney or Devin Haney. They don't got that kind of power. Somebody was going to be exposed for not doing their job or corrupting something. You guys remember that time? I think we talked about it out here in fucking Connecticut. I think it was. What town was it again? Fucking next to Boston, Cambridge, where the drug tester that for all the big Massachusetts cases from Boston, they had like people that got caught with kilos. This lady was smoking crack in the office, bro. And she did all them drugs and put fake drugs and she processed it all through like, yup, this is 90% pure. She wasn't even testing it no more. That shit was coming in. She was like, all right, I got this. Straight hitting the pipe, bro. Like, and when they bagged her, like, yo, an overwhelming amount of people had to be released from jail because now every case she had a hand in it, they weren't gonna go and look. No, that comes from the tainted fruit. Whatever her name was on, everybody, don't matter if they caught you red-handed on tape. Yes, Flacco, I want to buy the 10 kilos. Yes, here's the money. Busted, right? That guy right there released. Why? Because she was the lady on the paperwork that in the lab that tested their case. And once she was, you can't believe anything that lady did. They had to overturn mad drug cases. So someone did something and they didn't want it to come out. And I don't know, man. It could have been so many different things, so many different things. But I knew something was up and something big was about to happen when the New York Boxing Athletic Committee, the lady, yo, she resigned. Um, April 21, April 22, April 23, she quit. And the fight happened April 20th. You understand? Jack. She's like 2, 3 days after the fight. She was like, oh, I'm not dealing with this shit. Because they probably found out. They've been probably looking for a way to sweep this under the carpet. And the people that were probably going to take the biggest hit was probably going to be the New York Boxing Athletic Committee because somebody didn't see this coming in. And then Victor Compton's name is attached to this. You want to get as far as away as you can with that man. So a lot of these things took place, and once again, just think about it. Ryan Garcia doesn't have that kind of power. Neither does Devin Haney. Somebody swept this under the rug, and it was some powerful people. You guys need to see that shit. And then it was just an unfortunate event. They were like, either this motherfucker's really gonna get away with it, and we have to let him get away with it because it's gonna fuck us, or he was never guilty. We'll never know. One thing for sure, you could say whatever you want, but on Ryan Garcia's, when it's all said and done, it'll never have that he was tested positive for a banned substance. Listen, guy, nobody was expecting the Haneys to sue Ryan after getting him. Yeah, and now we have to prove all the evidence. Case closed. Yo, listen, the Edwin, what's better, PEs, Viagra, or what? Yo, listen. You're stupid. Hmm. Shit. I don't know. Couldn't answer that. Listen, I tell you right now, man, there are a lot of things happening in the sport of boxing, but one of the things that you need to pay attention to is that Usyk, um, vacated or stripped the IBF title. And, as far as your resume as a boxer, right? That's the difference between being quitting in a job or being fired on your history, on your job history. So on your history as a boxer, would you have rather been stripped of your world title or vacate the world title? It looks better if you vacate it. So they allowed him to vacate it before they stripped him. I just want you to know that. But if had he not vacated it, they would strip him. That's all that is. Okay, but he was going to lose that belt. Okay, when we see moves like this is the sport pushing back, saying to the fighters, you do not deem what you want to do. You want to shoot a rematch? That's your personal vendetta. That's your personal. We have a schedule. There are men that are next in line, and our organization is going to honor that. So we would like you to fight our mandatory. Come to find out, I even did a little bit more digging on the Saul Canelo Alvarez's situation of ducking David the Monster Benavidez. And in fact, two times throughout the course of those years, the IBF opportunities did come around and they were IBF mandatories. And Saul Canelo Alvarez did, in fact, fight his IBF mandatories. So out of all the mandatories for the belts, the ones that he did was one for the WBA, I think it was, within that reign. It was one of the WBA, and two of them were for the IBF. He was smart. He knew not to fuck with the IBF. Whoever the IBF put in front of him, Saul Canelo Alvarez fought. And that's how he was able to maintain it. The WBC is where the angle where David the Monster Benavidez was, and the WBA angle. He was number one in both of their categories. So, but they didn't strip him. Yeah. So, look, guys, sometimes in life, you got to play the game and you got to know when and where to push back. You got to choose your battles carefully. I understand that this looked very crazy from the outside looking in, but Devin Haney, um, the way to win back in this fight is inside the ring, I believe, guys. There's just no other way, to put this. How do you guys feel about this whole thing? Am I right or am I wrong? First of all, someone powerful turned this off, right? Devin Haney was awarded his O back. He still had his belt once upon a time. He could have opted to fight Sandor Martin, take that money, and still become champion. Now he loses his belt. He's not in contender for the belt. And when he comes back, he's probably going to make less money than what Bob Arum just that offered him. He's 3 times in a worse position this morning than he was just 3 days ago. Had he just took the time to step back and say, listen, it is what it is right now. But somebody obviously is letting this motherfucker go, which I feel he tested positive, which maybe, just maybe, he never was. So this shit got ugly. And Ryan Garcia could be an innocent victim. We have to take that into account. We can't just assume that Ryan Garcia was actually dirty this entire time. He's been saying this entire time he was never dirty. So whatever they're hiding, whatever they're protecting, they obviously do not want this evidence to come out. Whether it's in a courtroom, to anyone's ears. Someone did something really fucked up. You got to admit, this got bigger than the both. And Devin couldn't see it. He had a way. He made his choice. He made his bed. Look where he is today. I'm not hating on Devin Haney. I wish him the best. But there is only one way out of this, Devin Haney. There is only one way out of this. You got to get back in the ring and win. If you sit around and wait for Ryan Garcia, you're just holding your entire career for another man. You're allowing to Ryan Garcia to tell you how high to jump, when and where. Now you completely gave Ryan Garcia control of your career. That's not a good look, Devin Haney, and it wasn't the right way to go. I think Big Dog, what happened? Say it. What were you saying? I think Big Dog was investigated and Haney. Yeah, look, whatever you feel like it could have, I'm just saying that I hope you can all see and recognize, and a lot we can all come to an agreement that neither Devin Haney nor Ryan Garcia got that much power to make this shit go away. The people that made that decision were a way higher in position than Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Do you understand? Are we in agreement with that? That neither Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney could make this shit go away. It was obviously somebody with a lot of power in the boxing world. So, and we're never going to find out what truly happened. You understand? Because obviously they wanted to sweep this under the rug. You see? And Devin Haney was never going to win. He was never going to be shown that Ryan Garcia was actually dirty or this and that. Devin Haney might have got bamboozled and was told otherwise as well. He's over there saying, nope, he's a cheater. When the whole time, this shit could have been fucking ugly. And they've been trying to set up Ryan Garcia. They found out about it. And then they were like, yo, we can't let this come out. By letting this out, it's going to fuck up our credibility. And it was just going to open up too many things. Maybe he was never dirty. Maybe he was. We're not going to ever know. So listen, fight fans. Listen, you can discredit any side. Right now, I can legitimately sit here and make up a strong case of why Ryan Garcia is dirty and guilty. I could also sit here and make up a strong case of why not to trust Devin Haney with Victor Content. Yeah, I can make a fucking strong argument, but that's just all the distractions to distract all of us from what was truly about to happen in front of us. We were too busy arguing over the fucking dirty test when they came out and said that's not even what we're finding him guilty for. They hit us with a curveball. They said, look over here. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing over here. And they got all of us. Did any of you guys see this coming? Be honest. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see a way out for Ryan. And it's over. He got out of it, didn't he? So, listen, fight fans. I love you guys. It's been an amazing show. Listen, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, give the videos a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back on at 8 to talk about it. No shit, it's 6 o'clock. You know, I don't know if I'll be back on later tonight. But if anything, I'll probably be on tomorrow, whatever, and we could talk about it. But listen, think about what I said, guys, and you guys make your own conclusion. All right, fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports TV. Peace.